I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I needed that win. I feel re-energized, revitalized. Yes, I'm still tired, but who cares? Because we beat the champs 1-0. Welcome to my match reaction. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to my further thoughts on Forest 1-1-1-5-0. If you're enjoying the content, if you're still smiling, make sure you've hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well if you're new. And if you want more exclusive content, why not sign up to our Patreon and make sure you're following us on these socials. Okay, lot to talk about that game. This was a much needed win is probably the way I would best describe it. I just felt I was feeling flat ever since, the Fulham game, the Newcastle game, all those, the Arsenal game as well, even the FA Cup match. And I needed to see that life back into that team. And I thoroughly enjoyed that game. I mean, I spoke to LB after the match, the Man City fan, and he's like, I hated it. It was a boring game. And, a lot of my neutral friends said it was a boring game, but I honestly, trying to be objective about it, thought it was a tactical master class. Now, don't get me wrong, when I saw the team sheet, I did raise some eyebrows. It's like, he's gone for the 4-2-3-1. He's gone with Dominguez in a deeper role. Didn't quite see what we saw happen coming. But what he did do, if you look at the in-game tactics, and we'll probably break this down deeper on Grumpy Old Reds tonight, it'll be 8:30, where you just look at how they shaped up. And they shaped up in that Christmas tree formation, 4-3-2-1, because Morgan Gibbs-White was dropping into the 8 position when Forest were in the defensive shape. You then had Wood obviously up top. He was still dropping in deep. And Callum Hudson-Odoi and Elanga at times playing as that false 9 in the defensive shape. And what Forest did was exactly what I was saying they needed to do in the preview. Make it compact through the middle. Try and force Man City out wide. And then trust in the fullbacks to make sure that they can win their 1v1 battles. And I gotta talk about my boy Einar, because I've been critical of him over the last couple of weeks, and I think rightly so. I think his performances have dropped. But yesterday, man, Doku was just had him in his pocket the whole match. I can remember one time where Doku got inside of him. Outside of that, Einar was unreal. And let's not forget that for our goal, it could have ended up in a Man City goal, because Sangare slipped over. Ball gets played through, and Einar, who was knackered at that stage, he was probably knackered after about 60 minutes in every game, was able to find a burst of energy, recover the ball, lay it back to Sells, and then recover the ball again, give it to Gibbs-White, plays that glorious crossfield ball, and then Hudson-Odoi does what he is doing right now. So I really want to give props to Einar. Yes, I'm being biased about him, but it's been slightly annoying to see his form dip, and I thought he was right back on it yesterday. And on the other side, Nico Williams was so good. For me right now, he's probably in as a candidate for most improved player of the season, if not player of the season. I think he's just quietly gone about his business. Again, you saw Doku switching across to our left flank to see if he could get change out of Nico Williams, and he couldn't, so they switched him back round. I just thought defensively it was a masterclass. I genuinely did not see Haaland. Apart from when Wood tried to give him an assist in the first half, I didn't see him again. Between Milenkovic and Murillo, they absolutely pocketed him the whole match. So defensively it was solid. But then in the transition, as I just said when I described the goal, it was a lot quicker. Look, there weren't many chances. And this is that punch, that quick, lightning transition that I felt we've lost over the last 6 weeks or so. It felt like it was back yesterday, and I really did enjoy it. Callum Hudson-Odoi for me has kicked on again. In these last couple of weeks, even when Forest were playing poor, even when he's been chucked across on the right-hand side, even though I still would have preferred him on the left-hand side, a lot of even those there, I think he's been a standout player, even on that right-hand side. Right, I'm going to stop saying even though. And yesterday was no different. I think he's getting a little bit of aura about him. And I think defenders are starting to get scared of him. You saw Guardiola yesterday, who's arguably been one of the best defenders / wingers almost in the league this season. He backed off him. And if you hear Hudson-Odoi's interview afterwards, he talks about how he was thinking about coming inside, but because Guardiola dropped off on him, he decided, right, I'm going to put it on my stronger foot and put the finish in. And there's all the Man City fans, or the handful of them, who are saying that, you know, what's his face, Ederson should have done better. I don't think so, man. I think the shot was too good. I don't think there was a nick, as some people are claiming. I don't think it deflected. I don't care if it did anyway. It went in and Forest won the game. And at no point in that game, and I said this on a few of our other friends' streams that I was on yesterday, for me, that was Forest's easiest win of the season. Apart from Leicester, I just felt, even Leicester, I just felt we were under no duress. I felt at 60 minutes, Man City had just given up. They were like, we can't break this red wall. It's done. We'll just take a point. And I do think secretly, if you ask Nuno, he would have taken a point at that stage. And that's why I think he went officially into the 4-3-2-1 when he made those substitutions. But that just released Callum Hudson-Odoi. It brought him more inside alongside Morgan Gibbs-White. And I think that's what won us the game. That formation change was so key. So I'm extremely ecstatic about yesterday. And you go away from there and you start thinking to yourself, right, 4-point gap on Man City. But we're still not safe in this Champions League race. It's so tight right now that it just is crazy. It's absolutely crazy right now how tight it is. But I genuinely believe if we now go and beat Ipswich and then Manchester United at home, I think that's as good as putting us favourites. I'm not saying we're guaranteed in it, but it should put us favourites in that race. And they're both winnable games. I actually think the Ipswich game is going to be harder than the Manchester United game. I really do. But any team right now that puts a run together of 3 in a row or 3 out of the next 4 or something like that is going to creep up. We've got to hope Leicester do us a favour. Can't see it. But even if, what's their face, Chelsea win, we're still guaranteed 3rd. And this is a weekend where I was actually very sure we would be 5th in the league come the full round of the games. So I can't tell you guys how happy I am right now. But more importantly for me is that revitalization. It's just put a smile on my face. We've beaten Man City. I don't think we've beaten them since, I can't remember. That cup game was the one that came to mind on stream just after they'd signed Robinho and what have you, and we schooled them then. So, another one ticked off. Just that annoying Bournemouth one left. But yeah, get your thoughts in on the game. Have you woken up with a smile? Do you now feel more confident about Champions League football? I think for sure, European football is pretty much well nailed on. But remember what I've told you, on average, I think you need about 65, 66 points to get there. Forest are on 51 points. What does that leave us? About 14 points required? 14 points, 5 wins, 4 wins and a few draws. We've still got Leicester, our free win. We've still got the Ipswich game coming. And 8 out of the 10 games that are left are against bottom half oppositions. So let's break it down like that. Forest need, statistically, 4 more wins and a couple of draws, and we're there. What do you guys think? We'll break this down further for you lot tonight on Grumpy Old Reds at 8:30, so make sure you do tune in. If you enjoyed the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well. If you are new here, keep smiling, and we'll see you tonight. Come on, you Reds.